Hey, welcome back to the Lion's Garden podcast. I'm your host, Annie Peguero. I'm a leadership coach, fear alchemist, and wellness expert, helping high achievers expand their success with confidence and clarity. My clients, entrepreneurs, executives, leaders of all kinds, are building thriving businesses, making bold moves, and achieving strength in body and in mind. With my Brave framework, they're leading with impact, scaling their success, and creating lives that feel as good as they look. Here we talk strategy, mindset, resilience, real conversations, no fluff, and it's all about growth and sustainability. Whether it's leadership, wellness, or creating a deeper connection in your family, this is your space to build success that lasts. Let's get into it. Hey, it's Annie. Welcome back. This is episode 99, and this is a big one. We're talking about women over 40 and why we are the most dangerous people in the friggin' room. And for me, this actually happened at about 45. For a lot of women, it happens at 40. So I'm going to go ahead and title it Women Over 40, and how midlife is actually your peak power era and why society wants to make you think otherwise. So as we dig into this, if you are a woman over 40 and you kind of knew, like when you were about to turn 40, you're like, okay, everybody's talking about how 40 is it. 40 is the it age. Lots of things are happening over 40. And if you're kind of waiting for that to happen, this is your wake-up call that it's not like something is going to all of a sudden shift. You have to be the shift. You have to step into this action-taking role and being the person who allows the shifts to happen inside of her. So picture it, okay? You walk into a room full of high-powered leaders, entrepreneurs, decision makers, right? Everybody's talking, there's a buzz, there's networking, people are, exchanging stories, chatting, talking about their businesses and what they do. But there's a person she's not in there to prove herself. She doesn't need to. She does not need to prove herself. She exudes confidence and experience, and she gives zero fucks. She gives zero fucks. She's a woman over 40, and she is hands down the most dangerous person in the room. No longer feeling like she has to prove herself, people please, do all of these things that, kind of before you hit that stage in your life, you are full of uncertainty, right? Not every single woman out there, but many, right? There's a lot of people pleasing. There's a lot of suffocating of your own trauma and kind of wanting to be what society, your parents, your spouse, your friends, right? What everybody else wants for you. But midlife is your peak power era. You don't have anything to prove to anyone anymore. In our 20s and 30s, myself included, I was always so concerned about being liked and playing by the rules. And I remember saying, if someone would just give me a blueprint, right, a playbook, a structure, tell me exactly what to do and I'll do it, right? But by the time you hit your 40s, you realize that's all a fucking scam. It's a complete scam. And something happens, like something is born within you and you're like, I'm done people pleasing. I'm going to carve my own path and I'm going to do this thing my own way. You stop looking for this exterior validation and start leading with your own heart, your own way. And it starts to feel, I guess, more real, right? Like before you kind of have this idea that you want to do it that way, but if you could just kind of tell me like how to do, no, it like melts away. It's so cool. So I really want to know if you are in this place. Let me know, please. Send me a message. I'd love having conversations about this. And then, let's take a look at a celebrity like Reese Witherspoon. I think that she's so cool. And I love that when she hit 40, she stopped worrying about what people thought and started making bold moves, right? Like she launched her own media company. She started producing films with strong female leads because in her words, like Hollywood sure as hell wasn't going to do it. And I love that. I love finding strong, very, very public women over 40 who have carved their own path and did their own thing. So the minute you stop seeking approval, you really become unstoppable. So just, take a look at your own life and areas of your life where you may be approval seeking and looking for outside validation. And if you're an entrepreneur, even looking for that sale to tell you that you're good enough, right? Or, say that you're in a slump, like there's so many ups and downs of business ownership, of entrepreneurship, of motherhood, of marriage, literally of anything. And when things are going your way, if that's the only time that you feel unstoppable, I want you to really take a look at that. Because when you are at low points, right? If you are at a low point in your marriage, at a low point in motherhood, like if you just yelled at your kids no matter what age they are, like that never feels good. And I've totally been there a gazillion trillion times, knowing that it doesn't mean that you have reached, some pinnacle if you make it like through a week without yelling at your kids, right? You don't need that external validation or external means to tell you that you're unstoppable or that you're good enough or that you have, reached some monument, right? That marks that you are in a powerful phase. It is simply by choosing it. By choosing it and knowing with every ounce of your being that you are a fucking badass and you're going to walk into that room, you're going to exude confidence, and you're going to do your thing. So another example of why midlife is your peak power era, you have battle scars. You have the scars, and that's your superpower. So, women over 40, they've done some serious shit: divorce, career shifts, reinvention, motherhood struggles, health battles, personal reinvention, in every single one of those challenges, those pivots, those highs and lows, every single one has made you stronger. And when I use the word stronger, and if you've known me and you've been here listening to this podcast, you've been here on this journey with me for a while, strength does not mean fearless. And I actually don't believe in fearlessness at all. I believe that everything that you live through can propel you forward if you choose to allow it. So these struggles, when we're feeling like we're at our low points, just really getting quiet and going inward and recognizing how your own trauma, your own struggles and obstacles, choices, life experiences have made you the person you are today. And that's kind of like a buzz phrase, but absolutely they are the building blocks of your essence. So when you take all of that stuff and you don't try to change it, you don't try to pretend that it's not there, and you lean into it, you actually lead with all of those struggles. And what happens is actually the most friggin' amazing thing. So just taking myself as an example, right? I talk frequently about marriage and my own and my husband's marriage struggles. We almost split in 2020. And it was the most challenging time for our family of four. Absolutely. My kids were young. My husband was on active duty. We were overseas. It was really fucking hard. And anybody who is married and knows that, your marriage is full of ups and downs and learning and growing together. And if we had not lived through those struggles, we would not be where we are today. Absolutely not. We would have never grown as a couple. And if we didn't really dig into our communication problems and barriers, we would have split. And plenty of people do. And that, every path is different. But for us, we wanted to stay together. We knew that we had to continue to grow, and growing is frigging hard. It's not, I'm going to meditate through this. No, it is really going into the dark, dark, dark places, looking at childhood stuff, looking at relationships with parents, and saying, this is how I am coming to the table in my marriage with this heaviness, and knowing that That's not what we wanted to do. We wanted to come in and love each other in our wholeness and in our whole form. So everything that you've been through, it's not baggage. It is life experience. It is ammunition for the powerful woman that you are today. So, you might see that society tries to make you invisible. And that's a good thing, in my opinion. And here's why. So society is obsessed with youth. And I mean, I've gotten Botox. I'm not going to pretend that I haven't. I 100% have. And I'm not going to say I'm never going to get it again, but I am going to say that I am falling in love more and more with my face, with my body as it ages. And I haven't always felt that way. And maybe it's because I just turned 50 a couple of months ago. I'm embracing the grays in my hair. I still do get my hair colored, but I tell her I don't want an all over color. I want you to leave some of the grays. And recognizing that I am not 35 anymore, I'm not 42 anymore, and knowing that I'm going to stand powerfully in the age that I am. And if I choose to make changes to my appearance, it's on my fucking terms. And the same with you. Allow it to be on your terms, because it is what you 100% desire. Not that somebody else is telling you that you need to do it, or not that, you're scrolling on Instagram and you see all these ads for, X, Y, and Z. Recognizing that you are the driver of the train and you control what you do not do with your body. And that is such a reclamation of power. It's such an incredible power move to know that you're doing something because you want to, not because somebody else has told you to. So when people stop telling you what to do, you get to build your own empire. When you stop listening to maybe not when they stop telling you what to do, because they'll probably always will, but when you stop listening and you start building your life, creating your work, leading your family, you get to do it on your own terms, and you get to decide and be the filter of what comes in and out of your being. So that's probably, that right there is huge. And it's deep, right? It's not really something that people are talking about. People are saying, oh, age gracefully, but what does that mean? It means if you want to do something, do it. Don't do it because everybody else tells you to. And another point here, I love this one. You know what and who is worth your time. You don't show up at something because it's there and somebody told you that you need to show up. You question things. You question whether or not something is worth your time, and then you are very, very clear about what you're going to attend. I can remember, in the early years of our marriage, really, we said yes to everything. We were showing up at everything, doing everything. And this is a really, really big thing that I work with my one-on-one leadership coaching clients. And that is valuing your time and recognizing where you spend your time and how that impacts not only you as a leader, but you as a whole person. So toxic relationships, dead end jobs or contracts or self-doubt, right? Recognizing that it exists and choosing to not spend your time in it. Just saying, no, thank you, right? I'm not going to go to that. I'm not going to show up for that. You know what works for you. You know your value system, and everything else is just noise. Clarity is real power. And when you know exactly what you want and what you don't want, you move faster and with more impact. So how does that actually look? We talk about clarity, we talk about balance, but what does that actually look and feel like? Well, it looks like peace. It looks like ease. It looks like going through your day knowing that where you spend your time is of the highest value and in complete alignment with who you are as a person. So if either this resonates with you and you're like, oh yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, I've got this. My day resonates and is in alignment with my value system, or not, right? If this is not you, then I really want to encourage you to take a pause, take a step back, cancel some things, and just get quiet and super, super clear on what you desire. And that goes for everything from where you spend your time to what your days look like. I always ask my clients, like, tell me the perfect day. Like, what is the perfect day? And it usually starts off with, I wake up, I do some exercise, I drink my coffee, I do some stretches, I meditate, and then I do a little bit of work, or, I go to some meetings or something. But everything is very carefully planned out so that when you are operating outside of what is your biggest desire for your most perfect life and day, then you get to change it, right? And even if you have a 9-to-5 job and you have to be at a certain place, you can still design the bulk of your day around your innermost desires for your ideal life and your wholeness. And if you need help doing that, this is my absolute favorite thing to work on one-on-one with leaders, and that is designing your perfect life. So let's flip the script for a moment. So society wants you to think that midlife is about slowing down. It's about kind of fading into the background, or even playing it safe. But the truth is, you really do become the most powerful version of yourself when you are crystal clear and you take action that is in alignment with your value system. And it's easy to say, like over 45, over 40, no fucks given, right? Like 50 and no fuck. What that truly, truly means is alignment with your values. Alignment with your wholeness and with your truth, not having your days planned by some external circumstance, and not getting sad or pissed or angry about the things that you cannot control. And that's what I do as a leadership coach. That's what I help guide leaders deeper into themselves so that their external looks like the version that they had always dreamed, instead of being shifted from circumstance to circumstance. So this is your time. It is your time to be bold, to take risks, and to speak your mind, and to own every damn room that you walk into. Because we're leading, we're disrupting, and we are rewriting the rules for ourselves in this over 40 time of our life. And that is why we're the most dangerous people in the room. So if you're a woman over 40 stepping into your power, and maybe you're a little afraid, you've got some fear. Yes, I 100% get it. I can remember times where sweat was just dripping down my back. I lost all motor skills, manual dexterity, and just so incredibly fearful, whether it was like walking into a room or doing a video or a class online. But I get it. And my clients and the women that I work with, this is where they're at. They know that clarity and this balance that they crave is within reach. Sometimes you just need some support in getting there. Send me a DM. Share your story with me on Instagram. Let's rewrite this narrative for you together. I can't wait to hear from you. Send me a message on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook. Go to my website at thelionsgarden.com. I can't wait to hear from you. Thanks for listening to this episode. I trust it was super valuable for you. If you could go over to Apple Podcasts and leave me a 5-star review, that would mean the world. I can't wait to hear from you. And let's build this thing together. You are not alone. I'll talk to you soon.